unveiling of a very controversial statue.
Yeah, it really is. The Satanic Temple of Detroit revealed the one-ton bronze statue. Their message, they say, more about laws protecting religious freedom than about Satan. Priya Mann joins us live. Priya, I know there were some protesters out there this evening. Did the event remain calm?
Steve Sander, Detroit police say this was a relatively peaceful event. There were a few protesters early on that tried blocking the door so people couldn't get in to get tickets. They were told to step back, which they did. The same statue will be unveiled tonight at a secret location. As a small group of protesters prayed, hundreds waited for tickets to the unveiling of an 8-foot-tall bronze statue of a goat-headed Satan. Most of the people here agree with the teachings of the Satanic Temple, the group responsible for the event.
It's here, it's in Detroit, and this is fantastic that we get to experience this and we get to see this amazing statue being unveiled for all the world to see.
Many tell us they feel misunderstood and are quick to point out they do not worship the devil.
Mostly about individuality. So the one thing I don't like is the backlash, but they have no knowledge or have no ears open to listen to it.
Wait a minute. Stop. Did she just say no knowledge? Let's travel back in time to the year 1446 BC, before Christ.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. They said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. They rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings, and brought peace offerings. The people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation.
So, you can't say that you are misunderstood individuals. No. On the contrary, we do understand you. We understand, just like everybody else in this world, we're all being misled. Misled by and he has been deceiving so many of us time and time again over generations to generations, and believing that his way is always the best way, even since the beginning of time, deceiving us, and especially now in this generation.
Last week, a man crashed his car into the controversial Ten Commandments monument outside of the Oklahoma courthouse, or state house, I should say. So you can see the damage that was done. He absolutely destroyed the monument. Immediately after crashing into the monument, he went into the State House, began making threats against Barack Obama, against the government, and said that the devil made him do it, leading many people to perhaps understandably believe that he's a Satanist. And so all over the course of the weekend, news reports are coming out saying a Satanist had knocked down the monument, coming out saying a Satanist had knocked down the monument, coming out saying a Satanist had knocked down the monument. Now that's important in this case because Satanists in Oklahoma have been launching a campaign against the Ten Commandments monument. When they lost that, they fought to have a statue of Baphomet set up in the same site, which is going to happen, which is going to happen, which is going to happen, which is going to happen 2 miles per hour.
So when I read the story, there was an indication that this was not some accident, that there were apparently some sort of barriers that were moved prior to a car hitting the monument, right?
Yeah, like
so it was intentionally done. This wasn't an accident, right? 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 So look, he's disturbed. Maybe that explains everything. I find it really interesting that, you know, it's okay to speculate as to who you think might have done it, but I feel like officials had already decided that it was a Satanist, because when I read the initial reports, Satanist was posted all over the place, right? It's a Satanist, duh. Obviously, who else would it?
Devil's involved somewhere. Devil's involved somewhere. Devil's involved somewhere. Definitely.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a devil. Yeah.
That was more logical.
Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Paul Ford. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jessica Shambach. Up first at 5, it must be removed. That is the order on the Ten Commandments monument outside the state capitol. In a 7-2 vote by the Oklahoma Supreme Court, it says that it is not constitutional. KSU's Patty Santos is live at the steps of the Capitol with more on what this ruling could mean moving forward. Patty. This is a document by the state Supreme Court that says this monument must go. But state leaders saying not quite yet. This fight isn't over.
We think the court got it wrong. Got it wrong. Got it wrong. Got it wrong.
The only reason why the Ten Commandment statue monument in Oklahoma has to go is because it is biblically written correctly.
This is so typical in the Philippines in front of the Catholic Church. For number 2, they have don't take God's name in vain. But the real second commandment is no idols, no graven images, and no idols. But they always remove it. They always remove the remove it. They always remove the remove it. They always remove the remove it. They always remove the
What some are calling a new blow for the faithful, just days after the U.S. Supreme Court redefined the tradition of marriage. Tonight, Oklahoma's Attorney General is challenging a state Supreme Court decision there that's declared a monument of the Ten Commandments is a religious symbol and must be removed from the grounds of the state capitol. Attorney General Scott Pruitt had argued that the monument was identical to a Texas monument that was found constitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court not long ago. No matter, the Oklahoma Supreme Court says it has got to go. A full collection of justices that upheld the monument on the grounds of the Texas state capitol. And the collection included Justice Breyer, one of the most liberal justices on the court. And what he said when he said the monument can stay. It's been there for a long time. Yes, it's religious, but it's also a historical symbol. The Ten Commandments speak to our history. And what this liberal justice said at the time, Britt, was a contrary decision would lead to the removal of many long-standing Ten Commandments in public and could thereby create the very kind of religiously based divisiveness that the Constitution seeks to avoid. And so nonetheless, here we go with the religiously based divisiveness that he was concerned about and that apparently the Oklahoma State Supreme Court is not, in a week where religious liberty is already coming under fire. Hearing from people online already, but this story is going crazy on the Fox News website. People are clicking on it in record numbers. And it's, they're interested. They want to know why the Ten Commandments can't stand. Because just days ago, we got a monumental Supreme Court decision on gay marriage. And many people felt, okay, even people who supported gay marriage said, okay, gay marriage is legal now. It's constitutional in every state. It's legal. And yet, what happens to people of faith who have a genuinely held objection to gay marriage? What will happen to them? And on the heels of that, you get a Supreme Court of the state of Oklahoma saying, here's what's going to happen to you. No more Ten Commandments on the public grounds. That we can have the White House in rainbow, but we cannot have the Ten Commandments on the state capitol grounds. And people are wondering whether this kind of what they view as intolerance is what the founders envisioned or what the country wants. Or it's what the founders envisioned or what the country wants. Or it's what the founders envisioned or what the country wants. But if you reach a majority opinion for it, Justice Kennedy says, basically, don't worry, you're still free to believe as you want to believe. Well, if you're going to act on it, that may be a problem. That may be a problem. That may be a problem. That may be a problem.
But we can allow Freemasons that control everything to throw satanic rituals, satanic parties, who call themselves the Illuminati, who are deceiving our children and everybody in the population of the U.S., in the music industry, and everything that we not only listen to, but in all the things that we watch. And all the way from back when we were kids. They've been doing it for years, centuries, but more now than ever. And for only one simple fact, that we as Americans have taken Jesus out of the picture, forgetting that he has risen from his grave, and he alone has defeated the power of Satan, and he alone has the authority over hell and death.